Oh, what's going on, Coaching Success Radio? That was a little close. We have another Future Success Stories series podcast coming up right after the intro. As I build my coaching business, I want to know how to effectively serve clients and make more money doing it. This podcast will pull back the curtain to reveal exactly how successful coaches are building their empires. Join me as I engage with top coaches from all over the world to discover their secrets. No theatrics and no theory, just real-life strategy. My name is William Winterton, and this is Coaching Success Radio. Hey, so today I have Sian, who is going to be sharing with us her story about how she's just getting started with her coaching business. She is a full-time professional, busy professional. She's been doing coaching for a long time in her company, but has started out on her own. The incredible thing about her is that she doesn't have everything in place, not even close, but she's willing to jump out. She's already got a Facebook group going. She's already taking clients. She's already building programs out. She's already creating content. She's doing everything that she needs to do, even if she's not 100% ready. I think just the last episode or two, we had Mark on here. He was talking the same process where I said done is the new perfect, and Sian lives up to that to the fullest, and I'm so excited to share her story and share her adventure. Watch this, check it out. Hello, welcome back. It is William and it is Coaching Success Radio. So glad to have you joining us here today. I have an incredibly special guest with me, and she's going to be sharing a little bit about what she's doing right now to actually start her coaching business. She's in the process. She's in the very early stages of it. So we're going to get to hear firsthand a story about how she found the group of people she wants to work with, her niche, how she started developing her ideas for creating her business, and actually getting in on the ground level of her starting her first coaching business and seeing what's the challenges, what are the things she's excited about. This is Sian Bowen, and she is a business and personal development coach, and I'm pleased to have you here. Sian, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
I'm great. Where are you exactly? What part of the world are you in?
I'm in South Wales, in UK, on the coast of South Wales.
So tell me, this is what's super interesting, is that you and I dialogued a little bit beforehand, and I know that you're just getting started with your coaching business. Before we jump into that, though, could you give me a little bit of background about yourself and what led you into deciding that you were going to become, that you wanted to venture out as a coach?
Okay. My background is I started in training, leadership development, and moved into HR. And I've been in human resources for about 20 odd years. And then I've gone back into leadership and development more recently in the last couple of years. And just before that, I trained to become a coach, an internal coach working for a corporation. And I sort of combine those two now. I'm an internal coach and I'm a trainer for leadership skills. So branching out on my own, I decided to go out on my own. I just fell in love with coaching. I just love the process of coaching. I just love helping people to not only discover their goals, but try and untangle the various issues that they've got. And I thought I wanted to do that privately as well. So that's what I'm trying to do at the moment, is move into working for myself a lot more. And I'm putting my training courses up online.
So you are currently still working full-time?
Still working full-time, yeah. So I'm sort of trying to squeeze this into the evenings and the weekends at the moment.
Sure.
Taking over at the moment, but I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. Once I get a few courses online and I get my name, I've never done marketing before. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me the last few months, is trying to get myself out there and build an audience or get my reputation built up as well, because people go to who they trust, don't they? And if they don't know you, they're not going to come to you. It's much easier internally for an organisation because you're there, isn't it? People know you and they've got less choice, really.
Right. So could you talk to me a little bit about that? That's what's so nice, is that you're not brand new. Like, you weren't doing, something entirely different and then just decided, I'm going to start coaching today.
No.
You've been doing this. You have skills and ability to do this. So tell me a little bit about the corporate coaching world that you were involved in.
We offer coaching across the organisation. There's about 7,000 staff, and we've got a network of about 22, 23 coaches. So really it's just trying to develop people. It's mainly to do people who've got change of career path, new jobs, new management roles, various issues within the workplace that they're trying to work their way through. That sort of thing we help people with. But then the underlying thing within all that is their personal development, the confidence building, the steps you take to get to the point where you can deal with your own issues and you can work towards your own goals in a confident way. So that's why I say it overlaps with personal development, because I think the two are combined, really. We need that personal development to move forward with our business goals.
So what do you think the biggest jump then, when you decide to go into a personal business and do it on your own, what do you think one of the largest challenges of that, aside from obviously not having the business itself, right?
Yeah.
You got your own little pond, but what other things are you noticing that are a little bit different challenges that maybe you weren't expecting?
I think the biggest thing for me is the marketing.
Okay.
It's getting yourself known. I found it really interesting, actually. I'm having an absolute ball doing it because I'm joining all these different groups. I'm meeting amazing people. There's a lot of wonderful people out there, and it's worldwide. It's just opened up the doors, the internet, and everything opens up the world, doesn't it? And that's what I'm enjoying about it. It's not confined to your local area, and it's possible to coach through Zoom, through Skype, through telephone, through Messenger. You know, we don't have to do that face to face, physically in front of you, although that is probably much easier. But when you do it through Zoom or anything, it's possible, and you can reach people from other parts of the world as well.
I agree. I still think there's a lot of room and need for one-on-one interactive coaching, like sitting across the table from somebody, but clearly you can't reach as many people as you can when you're online. So it certainly does. It's a new way to present yourself, and very different than the corporate environment. So what would you like to do then? So let's say that you and I reconnect back here in 5 years from another interview. Where are we going to find you? What would be your ideal accomplishment for that time?
I think what I want to do is sort of dual aspect it at the moment, because I want to get some training online to get that out there. But I want to also build up the coaching one-to-one side of things as well, or group coaching or anything like that, really. Because I just think my 20 years in HR has taught me a lot about what managers should do at the start of any issues, and if they could just nip things in the bud. So I think it's all down to good practice. I like simplicity. I don't like overcomplicating. I like down-to-earth advice. And I think that's what I'm trying to get out there, is good practice, basic good practice, good communication, good conversation, treating employees and your staff like human beings, you know, because a good leader will develop their staff, and a manager will look after the budgets and the processes. So I think it's getting that word out there, really, that if we put some good solid foundation, good practices into place, we can make things a lot easier down the line, and have an empowered workforce. And then side to side with that comes the coaching, because that's what allows us to grow.
That's great. When you talk about going and talking to, or rather bringing information online, you're talking about building programs and having courses. Can you give us a little behind the scene? Have you started working on any coursework? Or are you using some stuff you've already developed?
I've got one nearly ready to go out now at the moment for coaches. Just good practice. Good practice on, what have I put in it? I've got good practice on good questions. I look at a non-directive approach. I like my coachee to find their own resolution, rather than me tell them or guide them or give them any advice or suggestions. If they want that, I'm perfectly willing to do that. But what I would prefer to do is for them to come to their own resolutions. So using certain questions, very not even open, because you can lead with an open question. But if you give completely non-directive questions, I like tell me about, I like what else? I love silence. And it gives the individual a chance, it gives them that space to think and to consider exactly what their root issue is, or the cause of their barriers, or whatever it is they've come along and brought to the table. So I've got some questions in there. I've got listening skills. I've got the power of silence. What else have I put in there? Contracting, which is really important in the beginning, setting up that contract, and a framework to work to as well. Especially if you're a new coach, it's useful to have something in mind. I like having perhaps a bag of questions that are really useful that you can draw upon, and also a framework to work to, but not to be a slave to it either, because I think the coaching needs to have, the whole point is having that chance to free flow with the thoughts. So,
Right.
But it's good to have some sort of framework, especially when you're new to coaching. So I've put in there the Oscar model. Have you heard of the Oscar model? It's like, it's come from Grow, but it's been developed from Grow. I think there are people in the UK who've done it. And it just basically is quite simply, where do you want to be? Where are you now? And how do we get you there?
Very direct, very straightforward model.
Yeah, and it's quick because it starts from where you are. It's where you are now and how do you go forward, rather than that, what baggage did you bring to this point? Which I feel is not always necessary for a coach to go through. I think the coach is looking at where you are, or for me as a coach, it's looking at where you are now and where do you go forward. Yeah, does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. And so here's the biggest takeaway I get from that is that you can have courses and programs that you've developed that you're ready to go and launch even before you've got your business up and going. And even before those courses are done, you can start going in and talking to people and getting people excited about that and enrolling them before the course is even finished. So are you already getting an audience kind of built up of people and talking to people and sharing with them exactly what you just told me?
Yes and no, really. Yeah, I've joined the various groups on social media, coaching groups and business groups. There's women empowerment groups. I've got my own group as well, and I speak to them. I'm setting up my own interview series with the members of my group, hopefully next month, in the next couple of weeks. And it will be a chance to just chat. And yeah, like I say, it's very early stages, so I'm still trying to build it all up at the moment. Every chance I get, I'm trying to, jump on your podcast and jump on whoever's willing to talk to me, really.
Well, that's the way to do it. And anymore, that's all it is. The more you can be in front of people and sharing and giving value, just presenting yourself as the authority on it, you're just it's gonna happen where you can't not be seen as the authority on your topic because, oh, look, there she is again. Sean's talking about this, now she's talking about that. And it's great. It's really powerful. You know what I really also love is that you don't have everything set up. And I'm going to just be honest with you right now. So that's one of the things I do. I coach coaches. That's what my role in life is. And that's one of the things I keep telling you is that you don't have to have everything set up. I would rather have people like you around who are just like, let's get this done. Let's take action. No, I don't have a website yet. No, my coaching program's not done yet, but I've got a Facebook group. I've been reaching out. I've been joining. Yeah. That's what you need to do. And there are so many people who get this fear in them about taking these steps, and they're much more willing to design a website and go get a business card and create a logo for themselves and all this stuff. But when it comes out to actually acquiring customers, there's this fear. I don't feel that from you. I feel like you're ready to just rock and roll and like, oh yeah, I'll get that done when I need to, but let's start working. So.
Yeah, I think that's the important bit, isn't it? Because that could be such a massive barrier, can't it? You think you've got to have everything in place. And don't get me wrong, I've been there. I've been totally overwhelmed. And I thought, I can't do this. It's too much. I don't know what order to put it in. But you need to sit down and work out a strategy. And you need to work out what you need to do first and prioritize. And I think focusing on one thing at a time. And I think taking your own advice as well, isn't it? I say to my coaches, when we're looking at actions to take, if they're feeling overwhelmed, I say, think of one thing. What would you do first? And that sort of refocuses into, okay, what's the first thing I need to do? So it's really taking your own advice, isn't it? And thinking, right, what do I need to do first? And then trying to forget everything else, block it all out and just do that one thing. And I think I'm trying to plod on that way at the moment. So
Good for you.
me, yeah. So for me at the moment is getting my course out there and building up a reputation as a coach externally then. So, but that's going to take time, isn't it? Because it comes with trust.
So let me just ask this, because now I'm fascinated. So you work full time?
Yeah.
Okay, and you obviously have a life outside of work and coaching, and then you have, and then you do this. So I would just like to commend and say it's amazing all the amount of work that you're doing to get everything up and running, and not just make this a hobby, but really jump into this with both feet and say, yeah, I'm still got my full-time job, but it sounds like you're giving everything you have to making this work and be successful as well. So I think you leave. Yeah. Oh yeah. I have no doubt. And you leave a very little excuse for anybody who's thinking like, yeah, well, I've got this thing over here. And as an excuse, I can't do this or that. I tell you guys, Sean is on this thing, and she's rocking, and leaving very, very little doubt in my mind that it's just going to be amazing very, very, very soon. So thank you again for jumping on the show, and I will talk with you very soon.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out. New episodes are coming out every few days, including lots of conversations with massively successful coaches sharing their secrets with you. So be sure to subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel so that you don't miss out. And if you're looking for a way to start making serious money from your coaching, you need to check out my free training. It's at williamwinterton.com. I lay out the step-by-step on how to start making 5 figures a month in the next 60 days. Check it out, williamwinterton.com. I'll see you next time.